More on the renewed tensions on the issue of comfort women. We're joined by Karen Woods, a senior associate with Solstice Public Affairs based in Toronto, Canada. Karen, what in your opinion are the bigger implications here? How will this renewed tension between Japan and South Korea really affect regional tensions, especially when it comes to diffusing the tensions with DPRK?
Well, I think this could certainly stir up an existing agreement between South Korea and Japan. First of all, let's review the deal that was struck by both countries back in 2015. The newly elected South Korean president said the deal does not focus directly on victims. He personally wants a compensation program that directly gives money to all the comfort women. But right now, Japan just, donates $8.8 million to a foundation. And I don't think Prime Minister Shinzo Abe is going to apologize anytime soon. And certainly my guess and my suspicion is that those statues outside of the embassy in Seoul and Busan are not going to be, the consulate in Busan are not going to be removed. And, this is a crucial time because the United States certainly needs its allies in the region, namely South Korea and Japan, to pull the weight equally in order to contain Kim Jong-un's nuclear ambition. And I think another interesting point of view is China is sort of looking into this and consider, well, China has some sort of, I think, 15,000 to 20,000 comfort women who were victimized by the Japanese military in the Second World War. And it sort of wants to see what actions it can take. So it certainly is complicating things.
So let me ask you about this 2015 agreement that was signed. Considering the protests, considering the outrage and the controversy in South Korea, even by some surviving comfort women, do you find it stunning that it was even signed and sealed to begin with?
Yes, I find it absolutely shocking because basically what the newly elected president of South Korea was saying, the victims were not even consulted in the first place. So was this decision made because of political motivation? I mean, for those of us who are involved in politics, we all understand all policies have to be somewhat political. But I think whoever signed the deal actually didn't think through because there are repercussions and paybacks, quote unquote, happening right now.
You mentioned China is watching this probably very closely. As you know, China was also a victim of Japanese wartime atrocities. How do you think, I should say, this will be really perceived in Beijing?
Well, this is going to be perceived negatively in Beijing, but let's not forget Beijing's wedge with Japan does not just stop here right at the comfort women. This thorny issue, Prime Minister Shinzo Abe has repeatedly visiting the wartime shrine in Tokyo, and that certainly doesn't make the leadership in Japan, in Beijing happy. And Japan has repeatedly changed its history textbook to deny incidents such as the Nanjing massacre, and this certainly doesn't help either. But I think the three countries really have to look at the bigger picture. Is truth and reconciliation important in sort of putting the past at ease with each other? Absolutely. But there is, pressing issues such as a nuclear North Korea. So I think that certainly has far more priority than the rest. And I just want to remind our audience that we probably should look at this from a bigger context, because what this really is sexual violence against women. And, it didn't just stop at Second World War. It continues on a daily basis today. Well, so we really need a vital judiciary. Right. Sorry, go ahead, Asieh.
I was just going to tell you that I really want to focus on what happened with these women. No amount of words, apologies. I mean, Japan, for its part, says it has apologized. But for these women, the apologies by Japan clearly have not been sincere and heartfelt. What do you believe these surviving comfort women want to see at this point? Will any amount of money really take their pain away?
No, an official apology from Prime Minister Shinzo Abe is merely symbolic. It's him saying he, or rather Japan, acknowledged its wrongdoing in the past, and they are embracing, on the road of social justice. But you're absolutely correct. No amount of money will sort of erase the pain and tragedy that the Japanese occupation has caused for these women and their families. And let's not forget, some of the women were as young as 14 years old that were forced into sexual slavery.
All right, we'll have to leave it there. Certainly a painful chapter from World War II for China as well as South Korea. Karen Woods, we certainly appreciate it. Thank you.